Hey there, science fans! Have you ever wondered about the amazing stuff happening inside your body? Tiny things called cells are working right now, making you, you. Inside these cells is DNA, your body's instruction manual. It's like a recipe book with all the information to build and run you. Today we're going on a scientific adventure to extract DNA right at home. Don't worry, it's safe, fun, and easier than you think. Get ready to be amazed as we unlock the secrets hidden within your very own cells. Are you excited? Let's go! Before we begin our DNA extraction adventure, let's gather our scientific tools. Don't worry, you won't need a fancy lab for this experiment. We're using common household items. Here's what we need. Salt, regular table salt will do the trick. Water, the essential ingredient for life. Liquid soap, dish soap works perfectly. Rubbing alcohol, 70% isopropyl alcohol is best. Make sure it's chilled in the freezer. A tall, narrow glass, a juice glass or a champagne flute is perfect. A small, clear container. A shot glass or a small plastic cup will work. A measuring spoon and a teaspoon. For precise measurements, a toothpick or a straw. To collect our precious DNA. Now that we have our science toolkit ready, let's move on to the next exciting step. For this experiment, we'll be using your very own DNA. Don't worry, it's perfectly safe and easy to collect. We're going to gently scrape the inside of your cheek to collect cheek cells. These cells contain your DNA, ready for us to extract. Take a clean toothpick or straw and gently rub it on the inside of your cheek for about 30 seconds. Make sure to scrape gently. We don't want to hurt ourselves. Now swirl the toothpick or straw in the small, clear container with about a teaspoon of water. This helps to dislodge the cheek cells and prepare them for the next step. Great job. Now we have our sample ready. Let's move on to the fun part. Remember those cheek cells we collected? They might look tiny, but they hold a treasure trove of information. These cells act like tiny vaults, protecting the precious DNA inside. The cell membrane is like a security system, keeping everything safe. To get to the DNA, we need to break open these vaults. It's like cracking a safe to get to the valuable contents inside. That's where our lysis buffer comes in. This special solution is the key to unlocking the vault. Don't let the fancy name scare you. Our lysis buffer is simply a mixture of dish soap, salt, and water. It's like a magic potion, but made from everyday items. Add a squirt of dish soap, a pinch of salt, and a few teaspoons of water to the tall glass. These ingredients work together to break down the cell membranes. Mix it gently with the spoon. Stirring too hard might damage the DNA we want to extract. Now pour the cheek cell solution from the small container into the tall glass with the lysis buffer. This is where the magic happens. Gently swirl the mixture for a minute or two. This helps the lysis buffer to interact with the cell membranes. The soap in the lysis buffer helps to break down the cell membranes, releasing the DNA into the solution. It's like opening a treasure chest. Can you believe we're actually breaking open cells? Science is so cool. We're unlocking the secrets of life, one cell at a time. We've successfully broken open the cell vaults and the DNA is now free in the solution. But it's all jumbled up. To make it easier to see our DNA, we need to encourage it to clump together. That's where our salt solution comes in. In a separate small container, dissolve a teaspoon of salt in a quarter cup of water. Stir it well until the salt completely dissolves. Now slowly add the salt solution to the tall glass containing our DNA mixture. Gently stir the solution as you add the salt water. The salt helps to neutralize the negative charges of the DNA molecules, allowing them to come closer together and form visible clumps. We're getting closer to seeing our DNA with our own eyes. Section 6. Centrifuge time, spinning into DNA discovery. This is where the magic happens, where science meets a bit of everyday ingenuity. Remember those clumps of DNA we talked about? Those tiny, almost invisible clusters that hold the secrets of life? They're still pretty small, too small to see with the naked eye, but don't let their size fool you. They are incredibly powerful. To separate the DNA from the rest of the cell debris, we need to use a little bit of centrifugal force. This force helps us isolate the DNA, making it easier to study. Now, unless you have a centrifuge lying around at home, which you probably don't, we're going to use a little bit of ingenuity. Science isn't just for labs, it's for kitchens too. Find a plastic bag that you can seal tightly. This will be our makeshift centrifuge. Carefully pour our DNA solution into the bag, making sure to squeeze out all the air before sealing it tightly. This step is crucial for creating the right conditions. Find a sturdy handheld whisk. This common kitchen tool will help us generate the necessary force. Hold the whisk firmly and rapidly spin the bag in a circular motion for a few minutes. The faster you spin, the better the separation. The spinning motion creates a centrifugal force that pushes the denser DNA clumps to the bottom of the bag. This is where the magic of separation happens. This step might require a bit of muscle, but the results will be worth it. You'll have a clearer, more isolated sample of DNA to work with. Section 7. Alcohol power making DNA visible. We're so close to seeing our DNA. Remember the rubbing alcohol chilling in the freezer? It's time to put it to use. Carefully tilt the bag with our spun DNA solution and slowly pour the chilled rubbing alcohol down the side of the bag. Add the alcohol until it forms a layer on top of the DNA solution. Don't shake or mix the two layers. Now watch closely. The DNA, which is not soluble in alcohol, will start to precipitate out of the solution and become visible in the alcohol layer. You'll see white stringy clumps forming. That's your DNA. How cool is that? We're actually seeing the building blocks of life. Section 8. Second spin and a DNA bath, purifying our prize. Now that our DNA is visible, let's purify it a bit further. Carefully transfer the alcohol layer containing the DNA clumps into a clean, small container. We can discard the rest of the solution in the bag. Using a toothpick or a straw, gently swirl the alcohol and DNA mixture in the small container. This helps to further separate the DNA from any remaining impurities. Once you've swirled the mixture, let it sit undisturbed for a few minutes. This will allow any remaining debris to settle at the bottom of the container. We're almost there. Just a final step to go. Section 9. DNA storage, keeping your genetic treasure safe. Congratulations, science superstars, you've made it this far in your scientific journey. You've successfully extracted your very own DNA. This is a remarkable achievement and a testament to your dedication and curiosity. Now, let's preserve this genetic treasure for future exploration and study. Carefully use the toothpick or straw to transfer the clumped DNA from the alcohol into a small, clean container filled with a small amount of rubbing alcohol. This step is crucial for maintaining the integrity of your sample. The alcohol will help preserve the DNA by preventing it from degrading over time. You can store your DNA sample in the refrigerator for a long time, ensuring it remains intact for future experiments or analysis. It's like having a piece of you preserved in time. Imagine the possibilities of what you can do with this preserved DNA. Fun fact, did you know that if you stretched out all the DNA in your body, it would reach to the sun and back over 600 times? That's an incredible amount of genetic material. That's a lot of DNA. It's amazing to think about the vast amount of information stored within each of us. Now that you've unlocked the secrets of DNA extraction, don't stop here. There's so much more to discover and learn. Try experimenting with different samples like strawberries or bananas. Each type of DNA can offer new insights and exciting results. The world of science is yours to explore. There are endless possibilities and countless experiments waiting for you. Keep asking questions, keep experimenting, and never stop learning. Your curiosity and passion for science will lead you to amazing discoveries.